everybody seems to be like really teaching digital marketing, but it's like digital marketing 101. What is digital marketing? Because they're always trying to sell you something, where I want to take it to another level and talk about the type of content that you should be creating if you are, trying to go out there and sell a digital marketing product, right? Now, in 2023, I made six figures reselling other people's digital products in the make money online industry. And then in 2024, I created my own product, made way more money than that. So I know both sides of the spectrum. So now I pretty much coach people on how to grow their digital marketing business by getting out of their head and authentically telling their story. I want to make that very, very clear. But every so often, I really like to deep dive into the type of content, the type of short form content that you should be making. And more importantly, I want to just kind of go and give you the ideas, right? Because the way that you do it is drastically changing. So by the time I make this video, you know what I mean? What I might say right now is hot on TikTok or on Instagram. Within a matter of months, it kind of could change, right? However, what I want to give you is like concepts, and I want to give you ideas. Now, a good portion of you guys are not creating your own digital products. If you are, let me know in the comments if you are, and I can make another video on what type of content I would probably make if I have my own personal product that I just created. However, if you're reselling somebody else's product, right, then this is going to be very beneficial for you, especially if you're over here marketing on maybe TikTok or if you're on Instagram. So let's get into it, okay? So what I like to teach inside of my coaching app is I go over these 5 different content buckets. And I hate to really give you content buckets because I know that feels like it's played out. But here's the thing. These are not set in stone. These are not something that you got to, do every single day. These are not even something that you have to do like follow in order, okay? It's just, if you were to take all your content and you were to, break it down or categorize it, you would find it falls under these like 5 categories, okay? And I really want to help you out. Now, this is going to be geared a little bit more towards the make money online, industry, because that's generally what I coach a lot of people on. You know what I mean? There's obviously some fitness people and some other people, but they don't really have a hard time creating their own content. It's the make money online industry that has a hard time creating content. I'm going to tell you why. Because the ultimate question is, how the hell do I teach people how to make money online when I haven't made a dime yet? How the hell do I sell this product when I haven't made any money from it yet, right? And short answer would be your experience. But we're going to deep dive into the type of content, the content that has served me, that has made me multiple 6 figures, and that has helped other people inside of my community see, 5-figure months as well. In fact, we have a 21-day boot camp inside of there, and there was a lady named Mandy. She came in and she did this 21-day boot camp where I share these content ideas. And not only did she make $5,000 in 2 weeks, the next 2 weeks she made $10,000. So she totaled out a whole month at $15,000. To then the following month had another $15,000 month. And then she's already climbing up already right now, given the fact that we're only about 10 days into the month. So literally, this woman has made almost close to $40,000 in less than like 70 days, which is crazy, right? All right. So anyways, let's get into it. All right. So content piece number 1, I'm going to start with this one because I think everybody knows this one and everybody is yearning to get to this one. So it's going to be result posts, right? And I know. I'm starting with this one because I just want to talk about the categories, but I know a lot of you guys are like, Justin, I don't have any results yet. I get it, but hear me out. Results posts. This is the one that we're all aiming for generally, right? Because we want to tell people like, hey, I've made money online. Look at my results, right? So 1, if you have results, talk about it, right? Talk about what you've learned from it, right? Like meaning, like let's say you haven't made $10,000 a month yet, but maybe you've made a $500 sale. Talk about what you learned from that. Talk about what you would change to do it again. Talk about maybe the steps that you took in order to see that $500. And some of you guys might say, well, what are these 3 steps? Like if I said, hey, I just recently had a $500 days and these are the 3 steps that I did to see that. Some of you guys always ask me like, well, what are the 3 steps? Whatever, like your 3 steps. It's from your perspective, your experience, right? But the other thing that you can do is share a story. Have you heard that whole saying, facts tell, stories sell? That's the whole idea, right? Now, when we want to tell somebody else's story, we don't want to go off and brand this person. Like, I don't want to be like, yo, you got to go follow this Justin Springer guy, but utilize their story. I mean, when I was selling Roadmap, right? How many times did you guys see me on YouTube talking about Miss Excel, right? And because the whole idea was I was trying to utilize her story to support what I was trying to sell. And that's what we're talking about right now. All right. All right. So anyways, somebody's story or your results. Now, once again, if you do somebody's story, there's a caveat to it. You only want to do it every so often. You don't want to go off fully branding this other person, or you know what I mean, or like it defeats the purpose. Why should they go through you, right? All right. Now, I just wanted to knock that out of the way. Let's go through the other ones, okay? So the next section would be tips. And to be honest with you, I'm starting to phase out of tips and advice. And you could still do this, like if you're going to educate somebody, but it really should be coming from a place of what you're learning along the way, right? Like what's some advice that you could give that to your former self, right? Meaning you might have said, you know, my whole time I always thought I needed followers in order to make money on this app, and come to find out, you don't need followers at all, right? It's just offering advice. Now, why am I kind of like looking at this section really funny? Because I tell a lot of people to hold off on tips for right now. I'm not saying tips and advice are not good and they have their own spot, but I think so many people are always doing tips. And if you're not careful, when you haven't really accomplished anything and then you're trying to give tips, it's like it defeats the purpose. And then a lot of digital marketers, they start going off and giving digital marketing tips, which sounds good, but you're really just helping other digital marketers. You're not selling your product to people that could be using it. You see what I'm saying? So let's hold off on tips, but that is another category. Now, the three that I generally tell people, especially when they're in the beginning, right, to really, really focus on are these next three that I'm going to give you. So the next one, opinion posts. These are just your views and values and opinions around money or digital marketing, or if you're in fitness, it would be fitness, right, whatever. And the reason why is because these aren't always going to bring you sales, but it's kind of like one of those things. If I like you or I see eye to eye with you, I'm going to follow you. I'm going to listen to you more. Does this make sense? And here's the thing about opinions. A lot of times you almost got to be okay with the different views that other people are going to have. It's almost like so many people that are afraid to share their opinion because they don't want to start controversy. But hear me out. When you share your opinion, that means you take a stand for something. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather follow somebody that actually takes a stand for something rather than who just blends in the crowd. Now, for me, I don't like getting into politics, so therefore I just back out of that altogether. But if you were to ask me about money, my views on money or my views on this or whatever, I'll gladly take a stand, regardless if I lose you or not. I'm okay with losing you because most likely you probably wouldn't buy from me anyways, right? Most of the people that have always bought from me have a same idea, maybe vision, you know what I mean? Similarities as me, you know what I mean? The ones that do not, they generally don't buy from me anyways, okay? Now, opinion posts, like I said, some of these are going to overlap and these are not set in stone, but opinion posts you can't always do because not every day do you feel like strutting your opinion like that, right? So, but it is something that if you can cause, I hate to say it, but if you can even cause a little controversy, oh man, that blows up because people can't stand it, right? I don't know what it is. They just don't like, either they really get behind it or they can't stand it when someone just doesn't see eye to eye with them. And it's just like, calm down. Like, that's what the whole world is made of, different views. Jesus Christ, these people are crazy, man. So anyways, all right. And then the last two, okay, these are like crazy, right? Your story, all right? Your story. What led you to digital marketing? And you know, inside of my coaching app, I really go into a deeper dive on this because sometimes what you got to do is you got to ask yourself questions. But a lot of you guys are so general with this because if I said, why did you start digital marketing? You're going to say, well, to make money. No shit, right? So then I might say something like, well, okay, what was going on with you where you needed to make money? Well, I was living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, right? Or you say toxic job. Okay, these might be true, but guys, you got to go deeper than that. And you want to know why? Because think about it like this. By now, we've heard toxic jobs so much that it doesn't move us anymore. I mean, unless I really find out why your job is toxic or something happened to you at your job, I'll be like, holy shit, right? Like, like let's say, your boss docked your pay because you were 5 minutes late when you never been late before in the past 3 years or something. Like, I would be like, whoa, that's fucking crazy, right? But I would be more shocked by that and be more moved by that rather than just hearing you got a toxic 9 to 5. Because by now I kind of feel like everybody says their 9 to 5 is toxic, and the ones that don't think their 9 to 5 are toxic, yeah, those are like unicorn. I'm playing. No, they're not unicorns, but like those are the one-offs, right? But if you look at the majority of people, they're always talking about how their job is toxic, no matter what, right? Even it could be even a normal job. It could be like just a regular job where it's not even like that big of a deal, and they call it toxic, right? So it's like that doesn't move people anymore. So you kind of got to go deeper. And then the last category, which is just, it blows my damn mind how underutilized this is, but your product and the benefits of that product. Not always doing product reviews, and damn sure not always talking about product features. Everybody just, preaches features. I can't even talk. Preaches features, right? And it's like, okay, right? Nobody cares, right? Like that gets old, right? Plus, people are somewhat dumb. You got to make the connection for them, right? So I'll give you an example. What if I said, hey, I got an automated system? Okay, that's great. It sounds pretty damn good to everybody else, but they still can't make that connection. They're like, automated system, right? Like they're still kind of, what? Right? And then you say, well, it's working in the background for me. Okay, it's working in the background. Okay. See, they still can't make that distinction. So you elaborate a little bit. Like, why is that important to you? Why is it important to you that you have an automated system running in the background? And a person might say, well, because I got a 9 to 5, then I got to come home and I got to take care of my kids. I barely have time to even work a side hustle right now. You know what I mean? Not to mention, I want to be there for my wife or my husband, whatever it is, right? I want to be there for them. And so I needed something that's working for me in the background, working for me, right? When you paint that picture, then people can be like, oh, you're right. I got kids. Oh, you're right. I barely have time for an extra side hustle. I need something working in the background for me too, right? So when you elaborate a little bit, you help them see the distinction that they needed in order to say, oh, me too. Yes, I need that too. You see what I'm saying? And because it's the same thing as like, hey man, you need to go to the gym. Yeah, I know I need to go to the gym. Why should I go to that gym? Well, they got weights and classes. Okay, all gyms got weights and class, right? Like, why do I need to go to that gym? Oh man, I went in there and they had like a huge weight room. Dumbbells went up to like 150 pounds, so you can really press it hard and everything. Because I like lifting heavy, because when you go heavy, you see what I'm saying? Now you're making the connection for me where you're really elaborating on the benefits and why. So when you start talking about going heavy, and then I know that particular gym has enough heavy weights for me, I'm going to be like, dang, yeah, okay, you're right, man. I need to go there. See what I mean? So elaborate on the benefits. So anyways, these are the 5 categories that if you would just start talking, I promise you can easily sell your digital marketing product until you start really generating some sales, getting some good extra income coming in. Believe me, guys, I have taught these to multiple people and they've all gone off to see leads and sales in a matter of days, especially in my 21-day boot camp. And, like I said, many people I have helped get to 5-figure months in their digital marketing business. And so anyways, if that's you, grab my free 10K starter kit or go ahead and join my app, but you can grab the free 10K starter kit. Let me know if you are not just in the, reselling MMO niche, you know what I mean? Let me know, put in the comments and I'll be glad to create some more videos like this on like maybe what type of content that you can do. Cause I know both sides of the spectrum. It's just a lot of people have bought an MRR course or a program or affiliate marketing program, and they're trying to get it out there. And then they just don't really fully understand on how to drop it like that. So anyways, hopefully this video helps. Let me know if you want more like this.